Okay, well, good evening. It's great to see everybody again that's able to join us live, as well as greetings to anyone who will see this later on. This today, another short devotional this evening, again from Echoes of Eternity, the devotional a friend of mine gave me several years ago. Today's seemed kind of appropriate, and I'll explain why after I read it, but it's for March 25th, and the scripture reading is very short, just a verse from the book of First Kings, chapter 17, verse 16. And it reads, "And the barrel of meal wasted not, neither did the jar of oil fail, according to the word of the Lord." And the devotional is written in the style of God speaking to us out of that scripture. If we can listen with the imagination of our spirit to what God might be saying to us in that scripture, that the barrel of meal, the food didn't run out, or the oil that was needed, according to the word of the Lord. And the devotional reads, "My goodness never fails. If my people would only trust me more, they would see the unending stream of mercy flowing like a mighty river, an unending supply. Your life is a testimony to the surprising ways I use to supply the needs of my children. From the day that you gave your heart to me, the jar of oil has never run dry. Through lean times and through fat, you have never wanted for what you needed. I have fed you with the finest wheat. Go over them in your mind and praise my faithfulness. Surprise yourself anew at the remembrance of my goodness. There's a pattern there that I want you to recognize. This too is a part of the blessing I give you, the joy and the trust that such memories bring." I'm gonna switch back over just briefly here. Um, Today, Gabriel and I were able to go out for the first time in a number of days. We needed to go out and get some groceries, and it was odd going to the grocery store, as surely we've all experienced in the past week or so, of how you walk through the aisles and there are big gaps where things are bought out or very scarce, and yet there was plenty of food. There was enough for what we needed. It was just, what struck me was how privileged and how much for granted I take it that I'll be able to just get anything that I want, or even if I don't know that I want it, just to know that it's always there. And I suspect that maybe a lot of us are not used to seeing that. And other folks, perhaps maybe you know exactly what that feels like. But it reminded me that in the midst of that, as we came home and piled our groceries onto the table, just how blessed we were able to be, that we had enough and more than enough. And I don't take that for granted either. I know that there are others who are struggling, and it's not a comparison of who's got more, but just in the sense of, in these times when we're not used to things being the way that they are, uh, remembering and holding on to the provision of the Lord. Because I can remember times when growing up, when things were lean and my parents had to make sacrifices, and there are times that just aren't easy, but God provides, and I was reminded of that today. And so wherever you are in your journey right now, may we know that we will be provided for in the midst of these times, and that as we remember the blessings and the provisions of God, that we have much to be thankful for in every circumstance. Today, for me, aside from just acknowledging the blessing of having plenty to eat and having enough paper goods stocked up to last us for a while before all of this happened. Really, what was a blessing to me today was just simply to be outside for a few minutes, soaking in the sun. One of those simple things that really spoke to me. So in the midst of it, God's here, God's good, and may God bless you as each of us seek to live out these days, uh, trusting in the faithfulness of our God who provides. Thanks.